Now, Gaurav, you are an entrepreneur yourself in the waste management space, and you are trying to create an impact over here. Now, as someone who's worked in the space for a while, can you tell us some of the challenges that would be specific to someone working in this sector, and how do you deal with these challenges?
Sure. So I would say, for example, waste management, I believe 2016 has been a government policy has come in, which says that solid waste management rules 2016. And it's a good detailed document in terms of what could be done. For example, I mentioned in terms of whatever we are doing, that's just one point of that waste management rules. So which says that if you're a bulk generator, you need to process your waste within your premises. But the problem lies on the execution front. So my experience, and this is something I've heard from Mr. Amit Jain, who has been, I think, ex-CEO India for Uber India. And he mentioned somewhere at one of my interaction with him, and he clearly mentioned that when your technology is ahead of time, right? Like, for example, when I talk about waste management in India, it's ahead of time. You really need to work with government. And those are the exact words which I really understood, because at the end, if you talk about, for example, let's say I have a solution, I have a technology, right? But then if there is no proper buyer, or if people, because at the end, waste management has not been an industry where we have thought of investing money. I mean, when I talk about, I mean, if I also decode this into proper sales, people usually invest either in their comfort or saving their time, or more into the pleasure, right? So waste management is not something which comes in either of it. I mean, we have people who are taking care of it. We are already spending just little amount of money, and we're comfortable with it. Or even I would say that in a lot of middle class and upper middle class or rich families, eventually is the daily maid who is coming in they are actually dealing with it, not even us directly. So those way, I would say you really need to work first on the policy front with government. You need to, obviously, this should not be a profitable model just for you, but then it should be more of more of a forecasting in a way that how country could become more progressive, more developing towards those front. And number two is more about the way government can maybe give certain relaxations for, let's say, early movers. For example, waste management, right? Now, if you have a tender and you say, okay, we want you to clean up 20 tons per day of waste of this small town. And then you also say, okay, but we want a company who is already into industry for 10 years into waste management, right? So when the industry is new itself, I believe that government need to lower down certain standards. And so I think majorly the crux is that when you are ahead of time, just work with government. And also on the second ground, try to get a bit more local. What I mean is that being local is, again, if I give you example of, let's take an example, Uber itself. So I believe that Uber India is the only organization or the country they run their operations where they do not, where they do accept cash payments. And this is something because they understood that how Indian locality is and how Indian market operates. So if you really want to survive, I believe that you need to be local as per the Indian markets. And you need to also adopt certain solutions in similar way.